What's up, guys? I am Bobby, and I have a recording studio, and I do a lot of mixing and stuff. But today, I decided I wanted to give this a shot where I go live, and you guys can be a fly on the wall when I'm mixing music or whatever. This is just kind of feeling this one out. So there's a subscriber, his name's Mohan Lee. He sent me a track he was working on, and he had some questions about trying to get metal guitar lead sounds to sound a certain way. And so today we're going to kind of go over his track and see if there's anything I can do in post where we might be able to save this lead guitar sound. We'll see. We'll see what I can do. I don't know. I was playing with it a little bit earlier. It was very challenging. Not so sure if it's going to happen or not. But we're going to give it a shot, and I'll show you some tricks that I'm going to try to save it. So, with that being said, let's just kind of dive into it. So here's the song he sent me. So, it's a pretty cool track, very genty. The issues he has with this song specifically is in this lead part. So there's this lead guitar that comes in that's doing a lot of like tremolo picking. So you can hear it right here. Okay, and what's happening is there's this like scraping sound. There's like a chick 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 kind of sound. It sounds crazy to me, but it's there. If you really listen, you can hear it. Okay. So, for example, oh, here it is too. You can hear it in here too. Okay, so I asked him also to send me just like the DI and the lead guitar sound that he came up with, just so we can kind of zoom in on that specific thing. So check, so here's the lead that's processed. So you can hear how there's this scraping, this okay, so that's going to be tough to fix. The reason being is that sound is actually from the guitar pick itself sliding on the guitar string. So, for example, like if you're playing guitar and you have this guitar pick and you're hitting the string and the pick's maybe at a slight angle, you'll slide right along this edge on the string, and that makes like a scraping sound. So that's like your pick attack, essentially, of the guitar when you're hitting the string. But if you're doing leads like this that are really clean sounding, you can get the scrape sound to be as loud as the actual like note you're playing. So what I would suggest if you're recording is to actually hold your pick like this, close to the tip, and then try to minimize the angle, so that you're just hitting the string and then it's coming off. I mean, I understand sometimes it's hard to do that because you have a certain style when you're playing guitar, but you want to make sure that you're minimizing the amount of time it's sliding. So try to get in there and be very quick and articulate when you're doing your leads like that, and that'll fix that sliding sound. So I was playing with this a little bit earlier. There's really no good way to get in and dig out the scraping sound. And the reason is you have the scraping sound is like wide spectrum. And so it's like all frequencies. And so you can't really dig it out with an EQ. I tried it, and all that ends up happening is you start getting just crappy guitar tone. So like we can go in here and try to find, like right here, you could try killing that. So this is, let's get rid of that EQ. So it helps a little bit, but it's still there. There's a lot of it right here. We can try to EQ that out, maybe roll that off. But again, the problem is we're just really not going to be able to, I don't know. We're just really not going to be able to get it out. And it's taken away from the guitar tone. So all we really did was made a very clear, we clarified the scraping, I guess. But it's still there. So the only other thing that I can think to do is, I tried a multi-band compressor, that didn't work, but for whatever reason, Soothe worked pretty well. Let me just kind of flatten this thing out. Let me flatten this bad boy out and show you what I did. Soothe is kind of like an intelligent de-esser, I guess, if you want to think of it that way, or a very intelligent multi-band compressor. What we can do using this is, these bands are basically the detector circuit on Soothe. And so what this is doing is, if you're boosting it, it's saying, okay, Soothe, I want you to pay more attention to this range than all the others. And I want you to find resonant frequencies in this range and remove them. But if we want it to not mess with a certain spot, we can also reduce the detection circuit here. So now this is, it's going to leave this stuff alone. So if the guitar lives like around 4K, oh God, I hope that's not the case. 4K is terrible on guitars. But like, let's say like 2 or 3K, like somewhere around here. This will leave the guitar frequencies alone, but we might be able to dial this in and get those like low frequencies from the pick scraping. And so what you can do is you put in delta mode, and now you're just hearing what Soothe is reducing. So we want to adjust this to make the scraping as low as possible, and then we know we're doing something right. Okay. So there's a lot. I mean, we're doing a pretty good job with this right now. Let me just replay this. So the majority of this is the scraping sound, which is what we want. Okay, cool. So let's bring it out so we can hear the guitar tone. So the problem is it really affects the guitar tone here. So we're just going to try to do it a little bit, I guess. Yeah, it's really, this is such a hard thing. I really think you just need to get back in the studio and retrack those leads, man. So here, we can play it before and after, but it really didn't do much other than like change the way it sounds. I mean, it helps a little bit, right? But it's not going to solve the problem, unfortunately. But luckily for the full mix, it's not too noticeable, but I really think if you go back, retrack it, using a little bit better pick technique, I think you will solve that problem, and it won't be noticeable with all the other instruments. We certainly can't go in and try to selectively remove it from a full mix. Like in a mastering scenario, I don't think you're going to do way too much damage to everything else. And so that's out the door. There's no way we can do that. But yeah, I hope that kind of brings light to, the situation, and I hope some of those tips help you make your productions a little bit bigger sounding and not so scrapey. So, hopefully that helped, man. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.